guys, today we have another fun project. We will replace the fuel filters here on board, the diesel filters, stage 1 and stage 2. Let's get started. First we need of course the fuel filters. In our case it's this guy here, that's Racor R12S, and it's a 2 micron filter. That's the stage 1 fuel filter. Then stage 2, and that's the one that actually sits at the engine. Stupid plane. Well, I even have the original one here, the universal filter. You can see that's the fuel filter number. But yeah, there's no harm in taking an aftermarket filter like the BF940 from Baldwin. That should work as well. I'm just going to use the universal one because I have it here. You need a big cup of yogurt and a spoon, some paper towels, some absorbent sponge thingy in case there is a spill, and it happens. Some hose pinch off pliers, like those guys here. We need some spare diesel, just a little bit. I have the big can here. Will do. Optional a screwdriver. Well, some gloves are good. I could only find one glove, but well, better than nothing. And then finally you need a bottle of pale ale. Okay, I think that's all. We can get started. So task number 1 is to open the yogurt. Then we enjoy the yogurt. That's a pretty good one. Let's have a look at the stage 1 diesel fuel filter. In our case, well, it's in here. There we go. You can see the access is a little bit restricted. First thing to do is to shut off the fuel valve. Ha ha ha. I don't know, most 30-foot boats I've seen, there is no fuel valves. So you can see here, that is the fuel tank. That is where the hose comes out. It goes up here in the loop and then comes back here to the fuel filter. That's why those pliers I showed you earlier come in handy. Just press it and then that's it, it holds. That should stop the fuel flow. Okay, you can see I put the yogurt cup, the empty cup now, to good use. It's down there to catch any spill. First thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to open the drain valve to actually drain the diesel that's still in the filter. So this one here is actually the drain, not the big guy, the small guy. And there is a slot for a screwdriver in case you need it, but usually I don't tighten it that much because it's a pain to get the screwdriver in there. And some diesel is coming out already. That is pretty nasty colored diesel. Now I just hope that the cup was good enough, big enough to collect all the diesel. There's one more tool I forgot to mention. It's this one. It's an oil filter removal tool. Just wraps around the filter. That comes in very handy to actually get the fuel filter loose. Put the tool around, tighten it, and then we should be able to, there we go, to loosen the filter. Once it's loose, you can actually remove the tool. Just put on the glove again. And we loosen it counterclockwise. There's more diesel coming out of the stage. Okay, so next we remove the bowl from the filter. That is counterclockwise again. And I prepared already a Ziploc bag. Catches the spill. There we go. Comes off easily. Whoops. We keep the bowl and the filter goes into the bag. Clean it a bit. Needs a little bit more cleaning maybe. Well, the next step is I can actually add the new filter onto it. That is the new one. There we go, and you can see it has some O-rings here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grease those O-rings. Now looking at the O-rings, there are actually two. There's the bigger one that goes underneath, and then there's the smaller red one that goes in between the filter and the bowl. You can see the old one is still here. So I'm just going to put some grease on it. Okay, this guy is ready to go in here. Yep. Then I just remove the old O-ring out of the bowl, this guy, and pop the new one in here. There we go. Okay, so now I'm actually ready to put the bowl back onto the filter. Sure it's tight, but still hand tight, because at some point you have to open this again. But before we install our stage 1 fuel filter, we should use this opportunity and also change the stage 2 fuel filter. That's right next to the engine. But according to our engine manual, the fuel filter is right here on the right side of the heat exchanger. Our diesel filter is right down there. You can see the guy, yep, here, this one. Yeah, difficult to get in there, but we'll use the removal tool and hope for the best. So finally, using my friend here, I got the fuel filter loose, and I put Ziploc bag below it and some paper towels. So now I'm gonna unscrew the whole thing. Good thing is I can turn the whole bag with it. There we go. Add some diesel to it, otherwise the filter is full of air and that's gonna be impossible to bleed. This one was like 8 ounces, 250 mils. Okay, now the filter is ready to go. So I replaced the stage 2 fuel filter, put some paper towel below just to make sure there are no leaks. It's all good. One thing I noticed that it's a very good idea to replace the fuel filter here, the stage 2, very fast, because there's a lot of fuel coming down the line. Another idea would be to like have another of those pinch pliers and just put them maybe in here. Because what actually happens is, so that's the fuel system here. You have the fuel tank, it's gravity fed to stage 1, that's the coarse filter, and then it hits the fuel pump, and then there is the stage 2 filter, that's the one down there, and then it goes to the engine. So if I replace this filter here, down here, the stage 2, then there's a lot of diesel in the line and the gravity just pushes it down. So there's gonna be quite a big diesel leak. So it's good maybe pinch this off or replace that filter as quickly as possible. So the last step before we can install our first stage filter again is we have to fill it up with diesel. See if there are any leaks in the gasket. So the good thing is this guy here, the M25, about 10 years old, is self-bleeding. So if there's not too much air in the lines, I just need to turn on the ignition key and the preheat button, and then this little pump here should start going and actually build up the pressure, and I should be able to start the engine, hopefully. If there's too much air in it, then there is actually, it's hidden here, behind the air filter here, under the injectors, this guy here, that is the bleed screw. So I could open this until no air bubbles, but only diesel comes out. It's a little bit of a mess, so I hope I don't have too much air in the system and I don't need to bleed it. Okay, let's do this. First the key, then just the preheat button. Okay, now the fuel lift pump should work. Let's give it about, I don't know, 20 seconds. And then we try to start it. Nah, that was not successful. Let's try it again. Okay, second try, maybe another 20 seconds. There we go. Start it up. The diesel filters are changed, the engine works fine, it's all good. Now comes the best part.